This is my pocket notebook. It is the most versatile tool that I use in my creative arsenal. The pocket notebook is the Swiss Army knife of stationery products. Each tool, the pocket notebook and the Swiss Army knife, has a tremendous variety of uses. The features of the pocket notebook are pretty scarce. Covers, pages, lines, and that's about it. But the uses, that's an entirely different story. The uses of the pocket notebook include, but are not limited to, writing, making to-do list, drawing, planning, scratch paper for a test, a flip book, a tripod, a pillow, shot listing, blueprinting a build, sketching thumbnails, testing out markers. It's actually waterproof too. Now, I don't currently own a Swiss Army knife, but I made this version to create a visual for this video. The Swiss Army knife has an abundance of features. You've got the knife, scissors, a file, a saw, corkscrew, bottle opener, and a whole lot more things depending on the model of the knife you have. The beauty, to me, of carrying a pocket notebook, carrying one on me every day, all the time, is that it gets used in a lot of different ways. Now at first, carrying a pocket notebook on me 24/7 was kind of a hassle. But in spite of all that, as I have been carrying this notebook for over a year now, I have found that I enjoy having all my ideas and thoughts on me all the time in physical copy. Versatility is the ability to be widely used or applied. If something is versatile, it has many uses. And by carrying this notebook on my person literally all the time, I feel a tremendous sense of pride. Is this pride I feel pride in myself? Or is it pride in my ability to be versatile, to be useful? By carrying this notebook, or a Swiss Army knife for example, I make myself that much more useful, that much more versatile. Why do I feel pride in this notebook? I mean, after all, it's just a notebook. Why does carrying this thing instill a sense of pride in me? Is it my desire to be helpful? Is it a compulsion to be creative? What makes me so proud of this thing? Why do I feel this sense of pride about an inanimate object? What does this notebook even do for me? Ownership can be simply defined as the act, state, or right of possessing something. For example, one might have ownership over a pocket knife or a notebook. But what if one owns a thing, but has a particular amount of pride based upon that thing? Is that more than simply ownership? Does it even make sense to be proud of a thing, an object that I own? This is just a notebook. What's so great about it? The reason I carry a pocket notebook is to be able to, distraction-free, jot down any and all ideas that I may have while on the go. Maybe the pride comes from the feeling of control the notebook gives me. Maybe since it keeps me from getting distracted by my phone, I feel more in control and therefore proud. Now and again, when I'm writing, I refer back to some of my older videos for potential inspiration. The other day when I was writing this, I was looking through my catalog of videos and found this one. In this video, I describe the story of my pocket notebook setup ritual. And as I'm watching this video back and reflecting on this message, I realized something that, I think, answers my question of why do I feel pride in this notebook? When one is learning a new skill, one begins to take pride in that skill, or take ownership of their abilities. When one learns how to play a song on the guitar, they will go around and show it to everyone because they're proud of it. In my case, with each new notebook I begin, I put it through a series of setup rituals. Over time, I have developed the manner in which I set one of these notebooks up for use. With each new notebook comes a slightly different iteration of the setup ritual. As of writing this part of the video, I'm on page 144. Approaching page 145, full steam ahead. And my point in saying that is, this notebook is almost full. The ritual I perform in setting up a new notebook is, I think, part of where this sense of pride comes from. This notebook isn't just any old notebook. It's my notebook. I think, too, the pride in carrying this notebook around isn't just from the ritual of setting it up. There's also, to me, pride in its versatility. As I mentioned before, there are a ton of different ways that I use my pocket notebook. And there are also many ways you could use a Swiss Army knife. And like a Swiss Army knife, my notebook has its primary use: writing. Writing is to my notebook as the knife blade is to the Swiss Army knife. There are many other uses, obviously, with the Swiss Army knife, but writing is the main function of the book, and the knife is the main function of the Swiss Army knife. Where my pride and versatility comes in is how I use my notebook. Sure, it would be just another notebook if all I did was write in it. But with my notebook, there is so much more to it. To me, my pocket notebook is a multi-tool. With each creative project, I'm able to apply my pocket notebook in a huge variety of ways. From overhead shots to thumbnails and as a tripod to a sketchbook. This thing is versatile. Okay, this book is almost full, and this is the 8th pocket notebook I will have filled up in the last 13 months or so. And by the time you're watching this video, I will be well into my next notebook. So let's go ahead and set it up. When it comes to setting up a new book, usually something changes. I face some sort of conflict, and the resolution is the newest notebook being changed or evolved in some way. In setting up this book, what's the conflict? What am I changing? Okay, let's think back to earlier. Why do I take pride in this notebook? Well, why do I? I use it a lot, for a lot of different things. Okay, so I take pride in it. But what exactly makes it mine? That's the conflict I'm facing for this new notebook. What makes this notebook that I write in truly mine? The ritual is what makes it mine. The ritual, in and of itself, is the ownership. But part of the ritual, too, is making some kind of change. Each notebook is a step in the evolutionary process. So with this new notebook, what's the change? The result of facing this particular notebook-related conflict. What could I do with the new notebook that stands to solve a problem I faced when using the previous notebook? How do I make something uniquely mine? Okay. Customize. To make it feel like it's uniquely mine, I must customize my new pocket notebook. This particular notebook, with this particular customization, represents not only versatility, but the pride that I feel for ownership of this, my Swiss Army notebook.